Sun Tzu's Art of War. Chapter 3. Attack by Stratagem. Sun Tzu said the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Apple didn't destroy Nokia by building better phones. They made Nokia's entire business model irrelevant. That's Chapter 3 of The Art of War, and it's about to change how you think about every competition in your life. I'm breaking down the most ruthless chapter in military history. Chapter 3. Attack by Stratagem. This is where Sun Tzu reveals why most people lose before they even start. 2,500 years ago, he cracked the code that separates winners from wannabes. And the craziest part? He says fighting is for losers. Forget everything you think you know about winning. Sun Tzu's hierarchy is brutal and backwards. The greatest victory is winning without fighting. Second best is disrupting the enemy's alliances. Third is defeating their army. And dead last, the option for desperate fools, is attacking fortified cities. Most people start at the bottom. Smart people start at the top. Here's the principle. Intact victory beats destroyed victory. Always. Netflix didn't beat Blockbuster by burning more money. They made the fight irrelevant. Amazon didn't destroy Barnes & Noble in a pricing war. They changed what the war was about. Sun Tzu's rule. The skillful leader subdues the enemy's troops without any fighting. He captures their cities without laying siege to them. He overthrows their kingdom without lengthy operations in the field. That's not philosophy, that's a playbook. Sun Tzu gives you 5 essentials for victory, and they're disturbingly accurate. Listen to these. Number 1, he will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Think about that. Uber didn't fight the taxi industry with better taxis. They made taxis obsolete. They knew which battle to fight. Most people are out here fighting battles they should have walked away from, burning resources on unwinnable fights because their ego won't let them retreat. Number 2, he will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. David versus Goliath isn't about bravery, it's about asymmetry. David didn't fight Goliath's fight. He used a sling. The little guy who knows he's the little guy can beat the giant who thinks size is everything. But here's the flip side. If you are the giant, you better act like one. Don't give the underdog room to maneuver. Overwhelming force, swiftly applied. That's number 2. Number 3. He will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. Unity of purpose. Everyone rowing in the same direction. You see companies fail at this every single day. Leadership wants growth. Middle management wants stability. Employees want work-life balance. Nobody's on the same page. Sun Tzu says that's suicide. Number 4, he will win who? Prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. Preparation meets opportunity. The overnight success that took 10 years. You don't get lucky, you get ready, and then you're there when luck shows up. Mike Tyson said everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Sun Tzu says, be so prepared that you're doing the punching. Number 5, he will win who has military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign. Translation, competence without micromanagement. Give capable people authority and get out of their way. The fastest way to lose is to have someone who doesn't understand the battle-making tactical decisions. Every failing startup has this problem. Founders who won't delegate, boards that can't stop meddling. So Sun Tzu drops the ultimate knowledge bomb. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Know yourself. Know your opponent. Win every time. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. 50-50 odds. Coin flip. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Complete destruction. Guaranteed. This is why most people fail. They don't know themselves, their real strengths, their actual weaknesses, their breaking points. And they definitely don't know their competition. They're out here fighting blind. Let me show you how this plays out today. WeWork thought they were a real estate company competing with landlords. They didn't know themselves. They were a financial house of cards dressed up as a tech company. They didn't know their enemy. the commercial real estate market that had survived 100 recessions. Result? Complete implosion. MoviePass tried to fight the movie theater industry and Hollywood simultaneously while hemorrhaging money. They knew neither themselves nor their enemies. Dead in 2 years. Theranos claimed they could revolutionize blood testing. They didn't know themselves. They had fake technology. They didn't know their enemy. Medical science doesn't bend to marketing. Elizabeth Holmes went to prison. But here's where Sun Tzu gets tactical. The general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. War is won before the first shot is fired. Victory is determined in the preparation phase. You don't show up and wing it. You run scenarios. You wargame outcomes. You stress test your strategy against reality until you know you can win. Then you execute. And Sun Tzu says, the general who loses a battle makes but few calculations beforehand. Arrogance, overconfidence. We'll figure it out as we go. That's the sound of future failure. Now here's the part that breaks most people's brains. Sun Tzu says attacking fortified positions is the mark of desperation. The rule is not to besiege walled cities if it can possibly be avoided. Why? Because sieges are expensive, slow, and bloody. You burn resources. You lose troops. Even if you win, you've won a pile of rubble. In business terms, don't launch a frontal assault on an entrenched competitor in their strongest market. You'll bleed money, talent, and time. Instead, go around them. Compete where they're weak or not competing at all. Make their fortress irrelevant. Tesla didn't try to out-manufacture Ford and GM at internal combustion engines. They made electric cars cool. Now the auto giants are scrambling to catch up in a game Tesla defined. Sun Tzu delivers the leadership lesson. There are 3 ways in which a sovereign can bring misfortune upon his army. Way number 1, ordering an advance when the army shouldn't advance, or a retreat when they shouldn't retreat. This is called hobbling the army. Bad leaders make tactical decisions they don't understand. They override experts with ignorance. You see this constantly. Executives forcing strategies that frontline teams know will fail. Way number 2, attempting to govern an army in the same way as he administers a kingdom, being ignorant of the conditions which obtain in an army. Different contexts need different leadership. You can't manage a crisis like you manage peacetime. You can't run a startup like you run a Fortune 500 company. The rules change. If you don't adapt, you cause chaos. Way number 3, employing officers of the army without discrimination, through ignorance of the military principle of adaptation to circumstances. Putting the wrong people in the wrong roles. The nice guy who can't fire anyone as head of HR. The creative genius as chief operating officer. The detail-obsessed micromanager as head of innovation. Sun Tzu says this causes the army to lose confidence. In modern terms, your best people quit, and everyone else checks out mentally. Here's the dark side. Sun Tzu on deception. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. This isn't about lying. It's about information asymmetry. Your opponent should never know your true position, your real strength, or your actual intentions until it's too late. In negotiations, poker, business, same principle. Show weakness where you're strong. Show disinterest in what you desperately want. Control the narrative, and you control the outcome. Everything in Chapter 3 connects. Know yourself. Know your enemy. Fight only battles you can win. Preserve resources. Seek intact victory. Lead with wisdom, not ego. Prepare obsessively. Deceive strategically. The genius of Sun Tzu is that he's not describing war. He's describing winning at anything. Relationships, careers, markets, politics. The art of war is the art of competitive advantage in any domain. And the supreme skill? Making your competition irrelevant. Not beating them, making the fight unnecessary because you've already won in a dimension they didn't know existed. So here's my question for you, and I want you to comment below. What modern company do you think completely ignored Sun Tzu's advice on attack by stratagem? Who fought the wrong battle at the wrong time in the wrong way and paid the price? Drop your answer in the comments. The most insightful response gets pinned. And if you want the next chapter where Sun Tzu breaks down tactical dispositions and how to make yourself unconquerable while waiting for the enemy to become vulnerable, hit subscribe. This is Motivation 1000 Plus. Master the ancient, dominate the modern.